terrible photo.
No, that photo turned out great for me. I love surprise thumbnail. You know, it was when it was right before this movie started, when it was in the featurette at the beginning of the film, and you asked me which movie do I like better, this or Smokey and the Bandit. Mm-hmm. That was when I knew you were probably thinking you were walking into a completely different movie.
Because that is all they talked about in the beginning, like with their
the car chase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they talked about like the granddaughter and like all his relatives.
His son,
like,
Chad McQueen.
Yeah, all they talked about was the car chase, and I was like expecting this whole thing to be like a car chase movie.
We just got out of the 50th anniversary of Bullitt, the Steve McQueen film, and I was like, oh, I'll take you to go see Bullitt. This will be fun. I know you've never seen Bullitt before, and you'd actually never seen a Steve McQueen movie either. Mm-hmm. Who's someone I certainly grew up watching with my dad. So I'm like, all right, this will be cool to go see. And at the beginning, they do a featurette at the beginning, and it is primarily just talking about the car chase, which is the most famous scene in the movie. Like when someone mentions Bullitt, the first thing that you'll pop up in your head is the car chase scene. Probably is the best scene in the movie too.
Oh yeah.
And one of the best car chases put on film. But when they were focusing on that, like I was thinking in my head, like, and then you said that about Smokey and the Bandit, I go, I think she probably thinks this whole movie is going to be a car chase, like Vanishing Point or like the original Gone in 60 Seconds.
Why didn't you tell me?
I probably got distracted. I probably just I was probably going to tell you. I was like, oh wait, I'm also thirsty. Anyway, then lose my train of thought. So, alright, what did you think of the movie?
I told you, I don't think I'm the right demographic for it.
That's not true, honey. You are a 50-year-old father.
I acknowledge that it was good. I don't think it's something for me.
Mm-hmm. This seems right up your alley, sweetie. A slow burn, dry cop thriller from 1968.
It is definitely slow. I told you this. It reminded me a little bit. I mean, minus the car chase of like a really long Columbo episode.
Mm. Yeah, I mean it is a mystery thriller.
Yeah, and you know it's Columbo was early 70s, right?
It was on in the early 70s.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Columbo to me. And I like Columbo, and I'm okay. You know, it's not like I need everything to be, like, you know, fast-paced or anything. Like, I
need everything to be skyscraper.
I need everything.
This movie's all well and good, but could they have taken out the airport and have him just jump across a couple buildings at the end?
Yeah, it was just kind of, you know, and I love Columbo. I like Columbo more than you do.
Well, I mean, you watch a lot more procedurals than I do.
No, I don't.
You are huge into NCIS and CSI.
That's not true.
And Criminal Minds. Like, I can't go in the room without you watching an old episode
this is not true.
Of In the Heat of the Night.
This is not true. Don't...
She loves her stories. Her Father Dowling mysteries, Murder, She Wrote.
I love this era. You know, like late 60s, early 70s.
1968, yeah.
Yeah, I love the way, I like the aesthetic of it. And like the, I don't know, like hairstyles, clothing.
Do you like Steve McQueen?
Yeah, he's a man of few words.
That's what I love about Steve McQueen. And like, he does have performances where it isn't just like Bullitt, where he's, you know, the strong silent type, which he very much is in this film.
Yeah.
He does have a few performances where he kind of went outside the box on that. Some of his Papillon, he should have been up for an Oscar for that. He did a movie called Enemy of the People, which was okay, but it was very much against type for him. There are Steve McQueen movies I like better than this. This is a cool movie, and he's good in it. But I do like, I mean, my favorite Steve McQueen movies would be like The Getaway or Thomas Crown Affair or Papillon. Thomas Crown Affair is probably my favorite one of his. Honestly, let's say this movie wasn't showing in theaters right now for its 50th anniversary. If you had said to me like, "Oh, I'd never seen a movie with Steve McQueen in it before, what would you show me?" I probably wouldn't make Bullitt the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Bullitt I would put up there in my like top Steve McQueen movies, but like Thomas Crown Affair would be way more your cup of tea. Like you would actually really like that movie
What's
a
that
lot.
one about?
He plays just like a billionaire who just like as a lark is like, I'm gonna stage this robbery. And Faye Dunaway is like this investigator, and they kind of have this. It was remade in the 90s with Pierce Brosnan. It's actually not a bad remake either, but the original might be my favorite movie of his. That and Papillon. Great Escape was really good. You would like The Blob. He's in that.
Yeah, I've never seen that. I would like to watch that, though.
That's a fun movie. But this one, what I do like about this and him in this movie is the fact that he is just a few words in this. Like, you really can get a gauge on this guy just from his stare and how he looks at certain people, how he reacts very minimally to different characters throughout the film, and you can still kind of get an idea of what is going on in his head, or what his mood is, or what he's thinking in that moment. He is great at acting with his face.
Yeah, no, he's good at doing that.
I like that he's also. I like that this character and this performance, like, he is cool. Like, he is intimidating.
Cool.
He is intimidating, and he can, like, really stare a fucker down. Like, he stares down like a photo machine in this movie. Like, he could really stare a motherfucker down. And what I like about him in this movie is that he does do all this without any, like, crazy one-liner or, like, cop movie speak or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have movie dialogue in
Clean
this.
up on aisle 5.
Yeah, exactly. As much as I love shit like that, don't get me wrong, he does still maintain, like, screen presence.
He does.
Style, coolness, intimidation, really by just... He feels like a cop in this. He feels like a guy who's just doing his job. And I like the one scene where his girlfriend in the movie, who, let's be honest, could probably be cut out of this movie.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that's one of the the things I do have a problem with.
The girlfriend.
Yeah, I was like, who is she?
Like, I do like, though, that one scene where the movie actually does address kind of how callous the character is.
Where he's like, where she asks, like, or she just says, you're kind of numb to this stuff.
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Mm-hmm. When she walks in and the woman has her throat cut, like, I like that. I like that the movie does kind of address that.
And it kind of ends with that, too, like, where he's just kind of, like, numb to all this.
Yeah, after this wild...
I really like the ending.
I did, too. After this wild chase through this airport, which would rattle like anyone, just having to dive under like airplanes and shit, and then just this shootout in the middle of a crowded airport, and even that this character is just kind of numb to at
he
this
just
point.
like washes his face and just looks in the mirror, and it's just like, and then it's just credits.
I
like how she's also laying down like all sexy, like
I
wish I looked like that when I'm sleeping.
You do, honey.
Oh, okay.
I'll put the pictures on Instagram.
You already do that.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're beautiful. You sleep like an angel. You and your
what do you want?
You and your Jester Lloyd.
My Jester Lloyd.
We put a little jingly hat on Lloyd.
Jingly hat.
All right, Lloyd. You know what? Take that off. That keeps waking me up. But I like, even though, like, he is this character who really just kind of says what he needs to in the movie, the movie does give him a few chances to have some, like, genuinely funny reactions to a few things. Like, just, like, tiny little touches that don't even seem outside of character. Because he does, throughout this movie, feel like a real guy.
He does,
and
yeah.
I like, little things, like when he just, like, bops open that newspaper stand to steal a newspaper.
Oh yeah, that was funny.
Or when the nurse comes up with a tray, like, did anyone order food? He's like, oh yeah, right here. And even like in the dinner scene where the waitress like accidentally like bops him in the eye with the menu.
I don't remember.
Which feels like it might have been like not scripted, maybe, because he had a genuine reaction to that. But more so than the actual like plot of the movie, which does play along basically like a procedural. it really is like the atmosphere and the cinematography that really carries a lot of this.
That's one of the things I would say I did like about the movie. Besides that, yeah, like I said, it's not really for me, but I do like, late 60s, early 70s, and cinematography that does, it carries it a lot.
Oh, hell, the opening credits alone.
Oh, yeah, I'm like, with the flute and, like, the, all that kind of music. It's just...
Back when opening credit sequences were events.
Yeah, totally.
Like, just like a lot of these people just kind of standing there still, staring, camera panning across, like, they'd be like a music video of the time using film scores. So, but it really does put you in this world. Like, for instance, that dinner scene where he's with Jacqueline Bisset, and they have lines with each other, but you don't actually hear what they're saying, and it really is kind of just about the atmosphere of the scene, where it really does put you in the middle of all that, because you're mainly focusing on, like, the band that's playing in the restaurant, and even just, like, idle noise all around them. Other things, too, like, you could just kind of hear people just having random conversations in the hospital. Like, it feels like this is a very functioning universe that we're in, not just like, oh, hey, this is a movie shoot and everything. It feels authentic. The airport, the airport does. The hospital
People
does.
just wave guns around.
Yeah.
Different time.
The car chase too. Like, it feels like it's shot so well and so real that it feels like they just knocked a guy off his motorcycle.
Yeah. The car chase scene is really good.
Yeah.
It made me really nervous.
Oh, yeah, you leaned over to me like, I'm scared.
Well, I didn't say I'm scared. I was like, man, this makes me nervous.
Yeah.
It's it's a really cool that they put it in San Francisco, because, so...
Oh, those hills, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, that was a good location to do, like, a car chase.
You can see why this movie won, like, for film editing, because that car chase alone, like... It's fluid, it's intense, it puts you right there in the scene. Even just like things that aren't that
shot, too.
Yeah, even things that aren't that car chase. Like, you really feel like you're part of that airport at the end. You feel like you're in that restaurant with them when they're eating. And in that car chase, like when it's on the side of the car, and especially in the back seat as it's going over these hills, you just practically feel the bumps as you're watching it.
Yeah, it made me a little nervous. Like, that kind of stuff makes me nervous.
You don't want to be part of a San Francisco car chase in real life.
Even in, like, Smokey and the Bandit, like, that made me nervous, too.
Oh, yeah. I'll show you, like, French Connection, or the 7-Ups, or, Sorcerer. That's an intense fucking movie. I'll show you Christine with the evil car. Or have you seen Christine?
Have I?
The Stephen King one?
I've never seen it.
I mean, like, not that it has, like a lot of car chases like this.
I know, I was like, where's the...
and right now I'm just thinking of just movies with cars in them. Doesn't even have to be a chase. Doesn't even have to be a chase, really.
Like in Misery, because
that's got a car in it at the beginning. The Cars films with Lightning McQueen.
God, that movie's stupid. I never got that movie.
Because you've sort of seen a McQueen movie then.
Oh, yeah. That's true. Lightning McQueen, is that his name?
Yeah. Yeah, those movies aren't very good.
It doesn't make any sense.
The Cars universe? Yeah, not really. But I just enjoy even the cinematography in this movie alone, like little shots that'll start out with all right, when Steve McQueen gets out of his car and it starts panning out, and you see that you're in like you're from the POV of a back seat, and then water starts going across the windshield. It pans back out again, or it keeps panning out, and we see that we're inside of a car wash. Like, it does.
Oh, yeah.
It does really cool things like that. Like, characters will be sitting there having like a genuine conversation with each other about, what did this man look like who came into the who came into the hospital, and they have the piece of paper there trying to figure out what the guy looked like, and then as the two guys are talking, it's like slowly zooming in on the piece of paper that they're looking at. It's
a really good looking movie.
No, yeah, it is a great looking film. All of that is certainly more like captivating than the plot in the film.
Yeah, I kind of got a little confused in the movie.
I mean, not that I was confused, but like, you know, it's a movie that's mainly known for Steve McQueen, the car chase, and the cinematography of the movie, definitely. More so than it is really the story of the film.
A lot of the guys look the same, so I kind of got confused.
I actually like that about the movie because it made it pretty fun in that chase in the airport at the end, because Steve McQueen is even
they even kind of did that too. They
yeah,
like kind of look at you, and someone would kind of look like the guy who's chasing.
Yeah, like they even kind of they worked that into the movie where Steve McQueen is like trying to find this guy, but everyone kind of looks the same.
They all kind of look like Trey McDougal from Sex and the City.
I was thinking that whenever Robert Vaughn was popping up in this movie, going like, oh, well, this is Trey McDougal's dad popping up as Chalmers.
Maybe it was hard for me to get into the movie because I've been having a marathon of Sex and the City, so those are two wildly different movies.
You wanted more fucking in this movie?
It wasn't fabulous enough.
Hey, I don't know. Those stewardess outfits at the end were very fabulous.
I do kind of like that aesthetic, like where you know, like every woman, every uniform was normally like a dress that's like really short, like the nurses.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
and their hair's not even pulled back really. They just have these little hats. It's not very practical.
Hats. Yes, but it made making porno versions of these characters very, very easy.
It made them very fabulous.
Yeah, like movies like Stewardesses 3D or The Candy Stripers. Very easy to adapt these occupations into porn because the outfits kind of look like that anyway.
Yeah, I do like that look.
Back when outfits for occupations just looked like the sexy version that you would buy, like if you're having role playing night.
I like how who was it? Like all the male doctors have like, you know, practical scrubs on, and then the women are just like little tight skirts.
Time for your sponge bath, mister. Is it? Right
I was
on.
just kind of waiting for someone to be like, "Hey, Jiggles."
Yeah, just everything is Mad Men. Hey, Jiggles, grab a pad, back that gorgeous butt in here. Don't act like you don't want it. And that is how we met.
You call me Jiggles.
Just Jiggles. Hey, Jiggles! Wow, I can't believe that worked, and I'm married.
Jiggles.
I waited to my 30s to try this line. I always thought that would fail if I said that in real life.
Oh, God.
Would you ever want to see any more movies of his?
If you think I would like it.
You would like the Thomas Crown Affair.
Yeah. I mean, sure.
You would like that a lot. You would like The Getaway. You'd like The Getaway. Papillon maybe. But those other two I mentioned, yeah, you'd like The Blob. You'd like The Blob.
Yeah,
a lot.
I would check that out.
You don't want to check out one of his World War II movies first? Like Hell is for Heroes. That seems up your alley.
Well, it's not that I don't like World War II movies.
You hate World War II.
I hate it.
No, like...
It's not my favorite. I mean, it's an interesting war, but it's not... there's too many movies of World War II. I'm like...
Too many. Yes, but Hell is for Heroes gives you a hilarious, like, comic relief with Bob Newhart doing his phone gag in the movie. Like his stage phone gag Bob Newhart just does in the middle of this film. Like he's one of the soldiers in the movie. Like the rest of it's kind of like a straightforward World War II movie. It's a black and white film. But then like one of the sidekick soldiers in it is Bob Newhart, who just does his routine halfway into the movie. It's pretty funny, but it's random. It's like...
Okay.
Yeah,
place.
I know. It's like, I mean, it was funny, but like, I feel like you're watching Saving Private Ryan, and all of a sudden, Carrot Tops just starts doing his act in the middle.
Okay, I think that's a little different. Carrot Top, he starts smashing watermelons.
That's Gallagher. That's completely different.
I thought Carrot Top does that.
No, Carrot Top does prop comedy, yeah.
Yeah, he does that.
No, but Gallagher is the one who smashes the watermelons.
So does Carrot Top.
No, Carrot Top will get sued.
I'm pretty sure I'm right on this.
No, Gallagher is like, that's Gallagher's trademark, is smashing watermelons.
I'm pretty sure okay, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure I've seen Carrot Top do that.
No. Mm-mm. You gotta respect the craft of
Prop comedy.
I don't even know why I don't know why I'm being cynical about that. I actually really like Carrot Top a lot.
I don't know. I don't find it that funny.
Well, I'll see if I can find a war movie that he was in.
The Vietnam War with
Oh,
Carrot Top.
hell yeah. All right, everyone.
Sorry.
So that was the 50th anniversary of Bullitt. It was cool seeing it on I'd never seen it on the big screen before.
And we were
so
the youngest ones there.
Probably. But no, I'd never seen it on the big screen before. So that was, given the cinematography, the chases, the action sequences, that was cool to see. It was cool coming to see it again. But this weekend is Goosebumps 2 and Bad Times at the El Royale and First Man.
Sorry, no.
Hmm?
No. Yeah, I forgot I was going to say.
Excuse me. Oh, sorry.
Ew,
I had bell
honey.
cheese.
Bell cheese.
See you guys.
Bye.
Take care.